Right after the B patch, almost everyone started to play Chob item and Azir strategies and some other copper comps, but during this weekend I came across one comp I've never seen it before, and it's actually so genius, like it's so creative, I loved it, and actually I couldn't beat it. But after this game I decided to spend a little bit more time on researching the comp and trying to understand how to play it. So first of all, I'm going to share with you the guy who's spamming it and has right now 27% first place chance. That's insane. And then after we're going to talk about the comp, how to play it. Let's get to it. So if you wanted to know a little bit more about the player who showed me this comp, is Davinci01, who's currently have 27 first place win rate. That's insane. And 60% top 4 win rate, which is very good as well, obviously. As you can see, he's making a lot of first, but 8th, because this comp is around Naafiri, is a reroll comp, and is a little bit by like 1st or 8th. There's another thing I want to say about this comp. As you can see here, he's spamming it. I think this comp is extremely powerful until Master, because when I tried to play this comp above Master, so between Master and Grandmaster, I just struggled a lot. And I think this guy who managed to climb very fast on Saturday starts to feel a bit like hitting a ceiling around Grandmaster on Sunday, and even today on Monday. I think people start to understand how to have better late game comps, and this comp struggles a little bit. But what I want to say is, like, if you don't play in Master, Grandmaster, where people are really good at making strong late game boards, meaning that if you play in Platinum, I think this comp is extremely powerful, because you won't get punished by playing this comp with people hitting the perfect items, perfect comps, perfect augments, and you have a very strong chance to actually climb super fast with this comp. Right now it's not contested, so try it and tell me after if it works. So as usual, if you don't know me, I'm Probe. I've been challenger multiple sets, I've been challenger in set 9, and I'm making guides on Tacter. That's also the sponsor of this video. We'll find the guide with the link in the description, completely free. Don't worry about that. It's just that if you guys prefer to have a written format so you can check it up whenever you want, you have Tacter, and this will be extremely convenient for you. So let's talk about the comp. So the comp has a couple of things you need to understand. The first thing you need to understand is how Naafiri works. As you know, she's a Darking, and whenever she uses her ability, some doggos will attack the target as well. But this passive effect that I just explained will go on the closest person to Naafiri when she dies, meaning that if she dies, and let's say with this positioning, it will either go on Darius, Swain, or Samira. But obviously, as the fight moves, Darius will move, Swain will move, and Samira will pretty much stay around here, so Samira has a high chance to get the thing. And why is it so genius? It is genius because whenever she gets attached to another unit, like Samira will also get the passive of Naafiri, meaning that with the blue buff, she will spam her ability, and because she spams her ability, Naafiri will launch a lot of doggos into the enemy. I'm going to show you a clip so you can understand exactly how it happens. So this is a late game fight when I tried this comp, and you will see like how I am positioned. I want to make sure that Naafiri, when she dies, she gives the buff to Samira. And of course, I want to make sure that Samira can sustain, because you look at here. With the Edge of Night, she loses the aggro, and now you see a lot of dogs dealing like 400, 200, 400 amount of damage per dog, and just win the fight that way. So as you can see here, I'm going to show you again the damage calculator at the end. The 9000 damage is not just Samira. I think it also counts inside Naafiri's damage, but Naafiri's damage is not on Naafiri. That's kind of weird, but that's how it works. Another thing I want to say about this passive is like it scales with Naafiri's AD. That's why you want to have a lot of AD on Naafiri. And second thing I want to say is whenever Naafiri is attached to, let's say here, Samira, and Samira has sustain with BT, whenever Naafiri's dogs will deal damage, Samira will also sustain from that. So that makes Samira extremely difficult to kill, actually. Also here I have Git from the fan end that makes it even harder, but that two interactions are actually so good to make this comp work. I do think the healing is a bug. I'm not 100% sure. I don't feel like it should happen, but anyway, it happens now, so that's why it works. So now you have understood exactly how it works and the genius behind it. You understand now why you play this comp this way. You want to have Naafiri with as much AD as possible. If you can get the Noxus emblem, it's even better, but it won't happen all the time. And then after, you want to make sure that Samira and Cassiopeia, because Cassiopeia also has low mana, so this interaction works as well with Cassiopeia. So you want to make sure that both are able to get Naafiri on them and spam the abilities, so Naafiri attack, and again. And after, you just want to have whatever Noxus, just to give small stats to your units. Obviously, you want to add Aatrox, because that way you can have two Darkin, making the doggos even stronger, I kind of want to say. And that's pretty much it. That's the comp. So obviously this is a reroll comp, and one good thing about this reroll comp particularly is right now everyone is forcing Cho'Gath. So the tempo of the lobby during stage 2 and stage 3 is very slow, and you don't get punished if you have a weak board. You don't lose too much HP, you don't fall behind. Another thing I want to say is like since everyone is rerolling for Cho'Gath, Renekton, Malzahar and so on, you have actually a lot of people removing one cost from the pool, and it's easier for you to find Samira, Cassiopeia, even if sometimes people are rerolling Cassiopeia, but Samira you're pretty safe. So about the game plan, how to play this comp. During the early game you will not invest any money into anything. You will just buy Samira, Cassiopeia, Naafiri, Swain, the 4 units that are shown here of course, but you will not use your gold to push your level. Instead you will try to reach 50 gold as fast as possible. The way you want to stuff your carries, first of all you need to play with Twisted Fate. With Twisted Fate you can have this kind of stuff. Without Twisted Fate it's impossible to have a 3 Death Blade, a 2 blue buff, all of that. It's impossible, so you need to play Twisted Fate. So you will pick Pandora's box, and then after picking Pandora's box you will make sure that you stuff your carries in these orders. First you want to have blue buff on Samira, then after you want BT on Samira, then after you want Death Blade on Naafiri, and then after you want Edge of Night on Samira, and then after you stack the Death Blades on Naafiri before starting stuffing Cassiopeia. This is very important. I tried multiple ways. I thought first I had to stuff Naafiri, which is nice, but it's not as strong to stabilize your board during stage 3 as if you have stuff on Samira. Another thing I really want to say is like during stage 3, if you have these units at 2 stars and good stuff, and let's say you add another Noxus or whatever to have your 5th unit at level 5, you actually don't need to roll more than that in order to win fights. You actually win fights already like this, unless against people who have extremely high roll board of course, but this is impossible to beat, right? But you will win most fights, so you don't need to roll down to 0 at level 4 in order to have your 3 stars or you die. In fact, it's even better to wait before rolling down, because you want to make sure that all the Cho'Gath player roll down, remove the Cho'Gath, remove the Renekton, remove the Malzahar from the pool, so you have more chance to find Samira, Naafiri, Cassiopeia. And this is how you want to play. Once you find all these units at 3 stars, what you want to do of course is to push your level on more Noxus and make sure you win. One thing you want to do about positioning, you kind of want to make sure that Naafiri can go on Samira as fast as you can, but most of the time you don't really control the fight, so that's why sometimes I like to put Samira more like here on this corner rather than here, so she's closer to Naafiri. That's one of the tricks I'm doing right now. Now let's talk about the augment. So for sure at 2-1, like I said, you will play Twisted Fate just to have Pandora's items. I think that's called like this, or Pandora's box, I don't remember exactly, but for sure you want to have this augment at 2-1, because if you don't have it you simply cannot stuff your units the way I showed you. And let's say one day it happens like you have perfect items already, then in that case you can play with consistency. It just makes you have tons of gold. It's much easier to find your units. But then after, during stage 3-2, you can still, if you want, to pick golden ticket. If you didn't roll down already and you're waiting, like I said, because you're already strong and you're waiting people to remove the Cho'Gath from the pool, you can pick golden ticket. But apart from that, what you want to do instead is to try to get augments that makes your board significantly stronger. So like I said, Noxus Crate is really nice because you can give that to Naafiri. It's super easy to achieve 7 Noxus if you have the Noxus Rest. But you have a couple other great augments with great synergies. I'm thinking of Not Today, gives you Edge of Night of course, but also gives you more attack speed to the unit who has Edge of Night, so that's perfect. Total Domination of course. Gifts from the Fallen, because most of the time Samira will finishing like 1v9 like I showed you in the clip, and that's why this augment is insane on Samira. But Combat the Caster is really nice because your units are casting, but they will have infinite shield. And then after, I think you can play with Double Trouble. I'm not 100% sure, I didn't try, so maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that's something you can definitely consider. And then after you have Earth's Grad Bag, which is nice, gives you items. But because you're playing Twisted Fate anyway, you're happy to have more items, because that way you can have the perfect item for your units. And that's pretty much it for this comp. As you can see, it's extremely easy to play, but you just need to know it, and you just need to make sure like you manage your economy properly, and then after you manage your items properly. Like I said, I don't recommend this comp to be played if you're trying to achieve Grandmaster or Challenger right now, but rather if you're like around Gold, Platinum, or even Diamond, I can suggest you to play this comp because it's a great off-meta comp that is completely not contested right now, and that has potential to make you win like 20% of the time, or like no, 27% of the time, like the guy here, just like 27% first place. Like it's just insane. When I look at these stats, it's just insane. In case you want to join the private Discord to get access to this kind of subreddit comps I'm sharing all the time whenever I find one, I share everything. I also spend a good amount of time analyzing the data, the win rates of emblems, of legends, this kind of stuff. So if you want to have access to this, you need to have a tier 2 subscription to my YouTube membership. This is also helping me a lot in funding the Las Vegas tourney that I'm going to go like the beginning of December. And also will be forever grateful if you do so. In case you're not interested in a private Discord, you can still have access to the free weekly newsletter that I'm making, where I explain every week the top 5 comps you want to play in order to climb fast on TFT. I spend a good amount of time from observing, data mining, analyzing, and my own experience on the ladder to make sure that I give you the 5 best comps that you can spam without trying to figure out what's the meta. You can just spam them, surely get good results. With that being said, I hope to see more Naafiri comps on the ladder because this comp is so creative, and I'm so happy we have something completely different to have a change of pace after the Beachwater disaster. Anyway, happy climbing and see you at the next video.